Are you listening to me? You're both of you nuts.
Why do this? Why not do it?
You could ask yourself a question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? You have the luxury of not knowing what I know. It's that simple.
And people are always looking for something to be recreationally outraged at.
Are we clear? Are we clear?
Who said that? Nobody, huh? Ah! That's the war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah!
I've got too much juice left!
All right, I'm filling this kombucha bottle right here. This is the worst kombucha flavor I've ever had.
Watermelon Wonder? I
This
like
is-
watermelon.
This is the ultimate worst I've ever had.
Was it just the worst? It was the ultimate worst.
Also the ultimate worst, man. Because like I've had some like really bad kombucha, and yeah. So if you ever see this like at Safeway or on the shelf, Synergy, and it says Watermelon Wonder, don't.
Don't even try it.
It's terrible.
You
It tastes
haven't
like
even-
medicine.
Just because you piqued my interest, I'm gonna go grab it.
Okay,
You did not feel enlightened, didn't you?
you've been warned because it's gross, man. You'd be like, man, I wasted $3.50 on it.
I'm
Well,
surprised you haven't started making your own kombucha by now.
Oh no, we do. It's just I don't know. It's we made it, I think, once, but
That's
then there was this whole thing. You need to talk to it or something. Like,
It's not a plant.
no, you have to talk to it. It's like a real life.
Interesting.
Some
I'll leave
people,
it near my dogs.
so-
You
some
can
people,
talk to it.
yeah, but some people do. I don't know. Some people do that, but whatever. Anyway, dude, it's like it's been crazy. It's funny how these shows are coming quick. Actually, you know what, Joy? I actually did a show
Uh-huh.
before this one, but
You did.
yeah, I did.
What was it on?
It was about it was one of my friends wanted to talk about how she actually cooks food for her dog.
Oh, that's not
Yeah.
unheard of. I meal prep for my dog too, but I don't cook it. It's all raw.
So,
So
my,
it's not unheard
but
of.
my thing was like, yo, if you're gonna, do you actually cook food, or do you cook food that you eat and then you give some to your dog, or do you make a separate meal for? And so she makes a separate meal every meal.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, like, unless the food is meant to be cooked, then otherwise, I've always known dog food to be like just raw, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But my dad told me you should just feed it cooked food. So, I mean, the Filipino way is just feed them scraps from the table.
That's what my mom did for my brother's dog.
Oh, and how long did your dog live? Or brother's dog?
He lived for quite a while. I mean, like, it was almost like he was part of the family. He
I
ate what we
believe
ate. He ate what we ate.
And he didn't get sick, right?
No.
He was all right.
Mhm.
He didn't get cancer. He didn't go blind. I
No.
mean, yeah. But you know, there's this article that came out. I think they put out 16, maybe 20, they analyzed 16, 20 different dog foods that are popular, that are the premium prestige. And apparently in this last year, a bunch of the dogs that consumed it had heart failure.
Ooh.
So I need to look that up. But I mean, I have it actually. I don't have to look it up. I have it. I just don't remember the deets. But these are like top-notch dog food companies that I even fed my dog before we started going raw food, and I'm going, ooh, yeah.
Well, I'm looking that up right now. So
Yeah, look for it.
So
I mean,
grain-free food could be killing your dog.
Oh, golly.
Oh, you know why they say that? They say it's grain-free, but they put other fillers. That's not grains.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's kind of a clickbait, but it was interesting.
And they're still making money off you.
Oh, yeah.
And your dog dies early. Wow. I'm about to say, man, it's like I don't think I ever fed my. Well, no, I think I have fed my dog a steak before. when I was young.
I'd be surprised if you haven't.
No, I did, but mainly it was mainly like Polish sausage from Costco, eggs.
That's not steak.
No,
It's
no,
still
but I
pretty damn
have
good
given
though.
steak. I have given steak before.
Yeah.
It would be chicken. It would be. I think one time we just made too much lumpia and I just gave the rest to the dog.
My friend feeds his dogs, duck, and he didn't know what to do with the skin. I said, "Why don't you feed it to the dogs?" But and whatever the case, he decided to stick them in the oven like a little Breville.
Huh.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Best thing ever. We call it duck charon.
Oh,
So 150 for like an hour and a half. I don't know why it ended up an hour and a half. I think he tested it for 30. Then he did it for an hour. And he goes, "Oh, just 30 more minutes at 150 degrees."
Oh, wow.
We give
Okay.
it to the dogs as high-end treats. I don't know why you give it to the dogs. I should be eating them, but that's a lot of fat.
But it's so good. Oh, yeah, the skin is
So
the best part.
so I
That's
didn't know duck skin was a thing. Like you could make it by itself because I went to that Vietnamese place, that Pho Duin, and they make that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Dude, but when I tasted it for the first time, which was what a week ago.
Mhm.
I mean,
Wait,
I went
was
crazy.
that a week ago?
Yeah,
We didn't try it the other time?
no, it was last. No, they didn't have it that time. It was duck skin, man. It was on skewers.
Mm.
Oh, and skewers.
Yeah, it's. We'll check it out next time.
That sounds young. We should do a podcast there while we're at it.
Oh man,
It'd be loud.
we'd be way too loud. No, we could do in that other room. But anyway, hey, so something really funny that I came across on
Okay.
Facebook. I actually started opening up Facebook again. So
What? Okay.
yeah,
Welcome
You're
back.
actually back on Facebook?
It's like welcome back.
and the first thing I see, dude, the first thing, I mean, not even like pictures of like, other people's family members. The first thing I saw was a poll. I didn't know you could do a poll on Facebook.
Wow, you've been living under a rock.
I
Oh, wait,
know.
you haven't been on Facebook.
Oh my god, you can do so much with Facebook now. It's
I
like just
didn't know.
insane.
Tons.
But this poll was very interesting. The poll said, and it's funny because it's from a friend, and she was actually supposed to be on the show today, but she's not feeling well. Totally understand. But I
Aw.
want to address it anyway. And the next time around, we'll see what she actually decided because it was actually about her. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
says if your sibling or friend, okay, sibling or friend. So I'd probably assume like a really close friend, right?
Right.
Okay.
They have a breakup. They break up with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. Do you stay friends with their ex, including on social media? And it's funny because like when I read that, my initial thing was immediately, no, you don't.
Like awkward.
But I could see some
Yeah.
exceptions. Because I actually made one exception.
Did you really?
But it's still starting to seem a little awkward.
What
Hmm.
exception? Can you tell us the exception?
Yes, pray tell. It might help me with my siblings, exes.
How I started, I know. How it started was, so it was one of my coworkers.
Uh-huh.
And he's deeply rooted in Christianity, so he invited me to his church. And
Uh-huh.
then his girlfriend actually hired me to be a consultant to their church for music. So I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So I got hired, did some work, and I stayed in touch with this person, but it was always professionally.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden they broke up, and I'm just like, what? So
Oh, they're boyfriend, girlfriend, right?
yeah, they were boyfriend. They were boyfriend, girlfriend.
They weren't married. Okay.
So they broke up. I didn't know, and so I just didn't talk to his ex-girlfriend. And then so a year and a half goes by. He gets married.
Oh.
And then I find out that she's getting married. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I was just like, I just want to say hi, and I just wanted to be fair about it. I was like, hey, I'm still friends with, him. And, but, I didn't really see a reason why I couldn't talk to her because since it was based professionally, and and so the conversation ended up turning into one of those things like, oh hey, can you can you, or I actually offered to as a gift, I wanted to take pictures of them as grooming.
Engagement
Yeah,
photos.
engaged, right.
Okay.
Okay. Huh.
And so I did it. It was cool. She invited
Mhm.
me to her new church, and went over,
Uh-huh.
and still remembers my daughter. So
Hmm.
there's this connection going on.
Right.
So it was really good. And I met her fiance, and he's great. He's like
Huh.
this professional golfer. So
Oh,
um
cool.
and later on, I remember that year, actually it was this year, he got baptized. So I was like, oh cool.
Hmm.
But I kind of see it, and I guess it kind of does get a little weird because I think it always, I think it came up like, hey, how do you guys know each other? So the only answer that I think we give by default is, she hired me as a consultant.
She can't tell him that he's friends with my ex. Oh, I met him through
No,
my
I think
ex.
she did. I think she
Oh,
did. But when I answer it, I just say, yo, she hired me as a consultant. So, and then we just stayed friends.
I
But
see.
I don't need to go into all this whole thing where like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we don't.
because then it would really feel awkward. Because now it's like through his mind, it's like, wait, no, she, he's, you know what I mean? It's like, especially like right then and there too, because like you guys don't know each other that well yet, right? Like his fiance or
well, just not, not, no, we don't know each other that well.
yeah.
Um, but here's the cool thing. I think the only thing that didn't complicate things was that my coworker, he's not on Facebook at all.
Oh, okay.
So I think that helps. I think
You're
being
not
not on,
close to the coworker, it sounds like.
yeah. But see, I have a general rule, right? I have a
Uh-huh.
general rule. Like anyone who I currently work with, I'm not going to add you on Facebook until one of us leaves.
Hmm.
So that's just my general rule.
Interesting. But you're friends with the coworker's ex
Well,
on
that's how
Facebook.
we stayed in contact. We use Facebook to keep in contact.
Oh, because you keep in contact with the coworker friend through work. Got it.
It was just, but no, but then, so my coworker, I mean, we're always in contact,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
work on the
yeah.
same team, and, we're really good friends. I consider him part of, like part of my family ever since Joseph was born. So,
Mm,
you know, ever
got
since,
it, got it.
yeah. So,
Does he know that you're still friends with his ex?
yeah, I told him straight up. I go,
Oh,
hey, I told him like, yo, I just want to let you know that I'm still in contact, and we still do music projects together. So just
I
letting you
don't think
know.
guys care, do they?
No, he didn't care.
Generally, I think girls would care.
I guess. So
More.
so let me ask you, since you're female.
Mhm, I am.
So if one of your friends, let's say he was a dude, right,
Hmm.
and he has a breakup, but she goes to the gym with you.
Okay, that's valid. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now what?
I'd still be friends.
Yeah.
I always think of myself as a standalone, unless I'm like family. Family's different. And I think best friends or best buds are people that you've known since like 20 plus years. So I'm talking about high school, even middle school status. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think when you get to that family, long time friends, basically family status, um, there's some loyalty involved. And but generally, I mean, if you know me, you and I, we're good, we're friends. You know me. I kind of just stay in contact with everyone. You know, I may not be their best bud. I may not ask that person to coffee as often as I did before because technically I wouldn't be. I don't know what I'm saying, except that I don't cut things off just like that. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that makes sense.
So,
Makes sense.
and depends on the breakup too,
Oh yeah, big time.
right?
Let's say it was a divorce.
Who divorce with someone close to me? What were the circumstances? Was it my end? Was it my friend's end, or was it the other party's end? If it's the other party's end, then I'd be like, bye bye, hasta la vista. Yeah, you hurt my friend.
Okay, so there's loyalty involved. Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
and loyalty and trust in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why? What are you thinking, Jay?
Well, because it's like now it's like again, like it does depend. Like if it's to me, it's like if it's kind of like a mutual, like say if it's a breakup, if it's like a mutual breakup, it's like
Mhm.
okay, and so you guys obviously things didn't work out, so you know it's okay. Like we can all still be friends, but like if you hurt my friend and you screwed him or screwed her, then it's like
Mhm.
okay, yeah, peace out.
Right. Right. I agree.
Yeah,
I
but divorce.
So it also depends on how they broke up.
I think
Yeah.
so.
That and also even if it's mutual as well, it's like I don't know. They say some people say it's mutual, but then at the same time, it's like by I guess my friend's ex would if he were to try and contact me on Facebook. Oh yeah, by the way, how's so and so? How's your friend doing? I was like, okay, because like that's something
Go
that
ask him.
yeah, that's something that apparently happened with one of my niece's ex. It's
Uh-huh.
like, that was the last time I ever friended any of my siblings, girlfriends or boyfriends on
Mhm.
Facebook because there was a time where she dated someone who was very clinging and very needy to where it's
Mm.
like, she wouldn't answer. She was trying to message her and like she wouldn't answer. And
Yeah.
so he messaged me on Facebook. It's like, hey, I think something's wrong. Something's wrong. It's like she wouldn't answer the phone. It's like, well, yeah, no.
Oh my
It's like,
gosh.
well, no kidding.
No. Wait.
It's freaking 12:30 in the morning. But the crazy part is like, oh, can you text me? Or no, not text me. Can you message me? Her mom and dad's cell phone so I can call them. It's like, no, you don't want to be doing that.
How
Especially
old was this kid?
this was in high school. But then
Oh,
again, it's like, I've
he's
heard,
clingy and possessive.
yeah. But see, the crazy part is like, I've heard stories where even adults can be like that too. And like, that's the part where it's like, okay, unfriended, and like, even after we broken up, it's like, I mean, not broken up, but even when they broken up, it's like, again, he's sneaking messages of like, oh yeah, how's your niece
He's
doing? That's like,
spying.
yeah, exactly. So now that's where it gets awkward to where it's like, okay, that's where definitely circumstances where, okay, we can't see each other anymore.
Did you tell him, or did you just block? Did you just block him?
Well, I did tell him too, but then like he
Wow,
just
you're
wasn't.
nice.
But then he wasn't getting the message still, and that's when I blocked him.
Oh yeah.
Well,
You just saved your niece. Your niece was smart to break up with him.
hmm
Super smart.
yeah.
Wow, at least
Yeah.
I don't think I could act adult in that situation. I think I'd kidnap the guy.
Here we go.
Damn.
Here we go.
That's just me, man.
Fantasy started.
That's just me. It's like, oh, dude, I can't wait till this happens.
I need duct tape now.
Duct tape. All the rope, all that paracord I bought 10 years ago, I could finally use it. All this
You're gonna
tape.
Take the. Never mind. I'll be
That'd
quiet.
be funny. But
Get you in trouble.
so yeah, that's something I actually want to find out what Mavis is what she decided. It's very interesting, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some story behind it.
What were the poll?
So the poll ultimately said no.
Numbers.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't
was-
stop the relationship.
There was like more no's than yeses.
Well, it was a very vague question. See, I like details.
Yeah, there has,
Yeah,
there
there's
has to
gotta
be.
there's gotta be more to the story or something like that,
But I think
Yeah.
generally,
Yeah.
I would say no.
No,
I
right?
would-
I mean,
I would just
Yeah.
in general I would say no. So like if
Yeah.
if one of my kids, if they're in that situation when they're older, the answer is going to be no. So
Yeah, because like there's definitely a reason why these two aren't together anymore. So again, yeah, it could be they say it's mutual, but then at the same time, it's like I don't know. There's got to be more to the story on that. on
But
the.
that's interesting. Now I think, okay, God forbid, but say something happened to my husband and I, and you, Roy, have been friends with my husband ever since we were dating. You met him when we were dating? I don't remember. Anyway, I mean, it's gonna be 20 years now. We're gonna be married. If anything happened, would you? I mean, I don't
So
think I would
Let
expect
me
you.
finish after you said, and if anything happened. If anything
Yeah.
happened, you would have to be at fault in order for me to be friends with him.
I would have to be at fault. Oh, so you would cut him off, right? Just like that?
No. You would have to be at fault
Like
if
the
I'm going to
cause of,
remain friends with him.
the cause of the break.
But what if I wasn't at fault? What if it was a mutually?
So that's exactly what it means. If you were at fault, I would remain friends with him. I would remain friends with you. So anything opposite happening of that, then he wouldn't be my friend. Get it? So if he was at fault,
Yeah,
I would not remain friends with him.
you would not remain friends with him.
If he was at
But
fault.
if no one was at fault,
No, somebody's at fault, dude.
There's-
you're so black and white. There's always gray matter. No matter what, there's
no,
always gray matter.
No,
that's the twist. There's always a
someone's
twist.
always going to be at fault. Someone's always going to be at fault.
Okay, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Someone's going to be always at fault, dude.
Mhm.
But yeah. So that's interesting.
Let us know. Keep us posted.
Yeah. Hopefully later, I'll probably get her on. Anyway, also another funny thing back in April that I wanted to talk about in April, but I didn't get a chance to do it. Let me just let's see here. Share.
Chair.
All right.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
All right. All right.
Oh, look at that bacon cheeseburger.
Oh, I want some burgers right now.
I know, me too. Damn.
That sounds so good. What station is this? ABC, and they're oh wow. I don't watch enough TV.
If you missed
There's
it,
Asians on TV.
if you missed
Oh,
it,
wow.
she said she's making 6 figures.
Really?
I think.
Who is she? Is
Yeah.
Big Brother lady?
Shh. She's making 6 figures.
Choritos.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, let me restart that then.
Yes, please.
My
It's going,
bad.
shh. I'm listening. Shh.
Let's do that one more time. Oh,
Do it again. Do it again.
okay. Here you go.
I'm gonna start.
Burger looks good.
Try them at $4.99 barbecue bacon double cheeseburger combo.
We won't get into the specifics, but you're 4 years out of college and you're making 6 figures, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's read you a snippet of what Gloria wrote about Silicon Valley. Take a look. People feast on $15 sushi-ritos and $6 blue bottle coffees. The streets are filled with Teslas and self-driving cars. I get unlimited free food at work. There's a place to do laundry and get a haircut. There's even a bowling alley and a bouldering wall. You go on to say, this is Silicon Valley. Who wouldn't want to live here? That sounds good to a lot of our viewers probably, but then you go on to answer, you don't want to live here anymore. Why?
Well, okay, there are definitely a lot of perks of growing up here and living here, like good weather, good food, it's relatively safe, lots of smart people. I would say there are a number of things
Like what?
that are not so great.
Okay.
One that I talk about a lot in the article is lack of diversity. It's not just diversity for race, it's just diversity in all aspects of life. So if you walk around Mountain View or Palo Alto, it's like everyone kind of is dressed the same, everyone wears the same brands. If you're at a
Patagonia.
bar, Patagonia, North Face,
Yeah.
you're at a bar, everyone's kind of like talking about the same things.
Like what?
Blah, blah, blah,
Who's getting
startup,
funded,
who's getting
right.
funded, even like social conversations with like gossip is related to tech, like
Okay.
this angel investor, this VP, blah, blah, blah. It's very, very narrow.
More materialistic, would you say, since
Yeah.
you grew up here?
Yes.
What about hypocrisy? You pointed to that in terms of people volunteering to do social good, but then there's another side to that.
Yeah, I think one thing that really stood out to me is that there's a lot of talk about, tech, doing good for the world, or even like a lot of tech employees or tech companies will like donate money. But then the flip side of things, just from personal experience, there's a lot of talk about, oh, like I really don't like the homeless around. They're really ruining the view. So it seems very two-sided.
Have you noticed changes in yourself since you came back?
I would say one big change is that I didn't really notice these things when I was a student, like a high school student. It was only after I left and came back, and I kind of realized that I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah.
All right. So where are you headed?
Well, still up in the air, but the dream is London or New York.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we hope you will come back someday. But for now, we want to say good luck to you. And Gloria Lou, important issues that you brought out that people here will be discussing, doing a lot of soul searching. But definitely best wishes to you both professionally.
New York. As if the homelessness in New York is less than the homelessness at Silicon Valley. I don't know, man. I don't know.
How about London?
London. Okay. I have nothing to say about London because I don't know anything about London. But here's the thing. So I did a little. I looked it up again because it was April. Now it's July. Still working at Google. She's still there, dude.
Really? So no New York then? Huh?
Yeah.
London.
Oh, Joy, I think you're muted. Unmute. Okay. I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself.
I did it.
Okay.
I was just going to ask you that, but I think she's young and she had an epiphany and she wrote about it. And then she banked on it. She got on TV.
Sophomore?
But she didn't have a clear-cut plan. I mean, I said I was going to ask you, well, what's her plans? And you just put right there. She's still there because you don't have a plan. You're going to be stuck where you are. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, it's kind of like, if you make six figures and you're still single, gosh, I mean, put a good 10 years in there and then go do something else. It's like, it's kind of like, but then I feel like maybe she feels that way because, maybe she's well off. And so she doesn't, she's like one of those people that, I know someone personally where like I went to his house and he had all this mail covering his dining room table, right?
Mail?
And I was looking through the mail and I'm helping him out because he's not messy. It's just that his dining room table is a mess, but it has all this mail on it, magazines, and I start pulling out like what looks like to be like paychecks. And I'm pulling them out and I go, yo, dude, there's like 7 paychecks here, man. Are these live checks or do you get direct deposit? He's like, oh no, they're live checks. I go, you haven't deposited since it's been 7 months. I was like, do you like not need to cash this?
Wow.
And he's like, oh yeah, I should get to it. I'm like, you should get to it.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, wow, if I live like that, wow, dude. That's pretty amazing if I could live like that. Anyway.
Well, I mean, what do you take? What's your take on her? I mean, she's realizing that she lives in a very vanilla world, and it's a very privileged vanilla world, and she had that epiphany. Good for her, right? I mean, good for her.
My take is I don't even know why this even made it onto the news. Was there nothing else to talk about?
I guess not.
And so it's like, okay, I mean, that's cool. I mean, but how many people are like dying to get like a 6-figure job, dying to like work at Google, dying to like, get this job so they can provide for a family? And I guess, maybe, I guess when you're not hurt enough or you don't have this need, then you don't really have that drive. And then it's kind of like, oh, I just want to move to New York or London. And so I was like, wow, okay, well, wow, you're in such a great place that you could just kind of flick anything away. I don't know. I just can't believe that this
made TV.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. This is not a story.
Well, sounds like something to promote Google. Because, man, if you're making that much at Google, it's like, shoot, sign me up.
I bet you she's the voice of a bunch of other millennials or hipsters or whatever you want to call them.
Well, that are rich, that are well off. that are from that kind of family. So, well, yeah, I mean, good for her if she's in that situation. I kind of wish I was in that situation where I could just feel that way. Oh, I think I want to move to Vietnam, just to live there for the summer.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I don't really feel like I should, just have this nonchalant. Anyway, off to the next one, dude. It's like, to me, that was just something that I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there because I got a good laugh out of it. All right, so the next time I share, I got to share the audio. So, all right, here it is.
You know what? I do understand what Aisha was saying. She was.
Oh, wrong area.
I was gonna say. Oh, she looks like Miley Cyrus in a sense.
What?
Look her way too.
Something that really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that there are all these women throwing themselves, but me the past 10 years I don't have any of that. I have zero, it sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
Because
I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that someone's looking.
I don't want it, but it would be nice.
Oh, honey, you just don't know. Female perspective, you want to know that you're looking cute. You don't need it. I don't need it. But I want to know. And it's not necessarily I need someone else to tell me. Because I'm well, I think I'm cute. Keep going.
So this is not a general. This is not a general woman thing. This is more like a mother coming from a mother's perspective. Is that?
Nah, it's the general woman thing. Every woman wants to know that they're desirable or beautiful or attractive in some way, shape, or form. It comes back to self-esteem, and then they're going to act out. If someone has good self-esteem, then it's not going to bother them as much, or they're going to direct their attentions or their energies into something else. However, if you got someone who's needy and wanting, then you've got these girls or girls with daddy issues who don't get their attention from their dad. I mean, it all comes back to childhood, I think, anyway. But what she's saying is valid. Every woman wants to know. But it sounds like even if no man is looking her way, she's still got curry. And she seems secure in that. Well, keep going. Let's listen to the rest of her thing.
Oh, no, that was it.
Oh, that was it?
That was it.
I don't think she's hungry for a man. She said, I don't need it. It's just be nice to know. That's all.
It's nice to. All right, so I'm not trying to bash her. All right, I'm not.
I know.
I have no intent, but
she asked for it. No.
But the thing is that. Okay, so I read some of the comments, and it's funny because I was thinking exactly the same thing. There's this one comment where one of the guys says, "Yo, man, it's kind of like a general respect. No guy doesn't want to do that because they got respect for Stephen Curry. They're not going to disrespect Stephen Curry by going out and catcalling her. They're not going to do that. They're not going to disrespect her husband, and do that." But see, here's my thing. It's if there's a respect, that's something you don't do.
Okay.
Though you can do it, but it's something that you don't do because out of respect. Then I don't see. For me, I don't see why one would still want it if they understand that. If you understand, if as a woman or a man, if one is famous and the other one wants the attention, I wouldn't, no one's gonna disrespect like somebody, no one's gonna disrespect the spouse. So it's I don't understand why that would enter a woman's mind. I don't know why that.
I don't think she's asking I don't think she's asking to be catcalled.
No. Okay. What she said, the last thing she said. The last thing was, I'm not looking for it. Okay, so she already stated she's not looking for it. Okay. But it would be nice to know that somebody's thinking of. So it's kind of so it kind of disqualifies exactly what she said first. I don't want it, but I'd like to know.
It'd be nice to know.
That's kind of. I mean, it kind of defeating itself right there.
In a sense, it's like I don't know. It seems like the way she word. I don't know, not worded, but like it sounds like she really does want it, but it's like another way of saying that. I don't know that she. I don't know that she does want it, but then like at the same time, not sounding like
This is where a woman wants a man to read their mind and say, "I may say this, but I really mean this."
Well, it's like
it's that classic. It's that classic conversation, man. Does this make me look fat?
I don't know.
Come on now.
Do you have to tell someone you love them, or they should just know that?
Well, I mean, sometimes the action shows it too, because it's like some people prefer like stop saying it, just do it, or show me. So it's like it really just depends too on the person how they want it, like how they want it.
But I got you. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's just that it's just how. So for her, it'd be nice if someone. Okay, I don't want to talk for her. I can talk for myself.
Okay, talk for yourself then.
I know people love me. It's nice to hear them say they love me. It's nice for them to act and show through. I'm not a gifts person, but through service. Like, oh, let me pick that up for you. Let me carry that for you. I appreciate those things. Okay, so I know they love me. Do they have to say it? No, but it'd be nice if they said it. I know my kids love me. Do they have to?
Yeah, but you're coming from a perspective where it's something where you're actually using the word love. She's using the word, I still want to know if I got it, or I still want to know, like, I'm not looking for attention. But
I think this goes across. It's not just females though; it's males.
Sure, no, that's fine. That's fine.
So
that's fine.
I'm not saying she's wrong. I mean, I think there comes a point where you're just secure in yourself and you don't need to have someone say it to you, or you don't need strangers to come up to you and say, hey, blah, 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 whatever it may be. It could be something as mundane as pretty smile, or it could be something like looking hot. There comes a point in every woman's life where they're like, I don't need to hear it. But is it nice to hear? Depends if you're in a crowded or if you're in the middle of a lonely, no lit street, or if you're at a casual party hanging out with friends. I mean, so
here's a dark side of things.
It's nice to be appreciated, and I think that's where she's coming from. It's just for someone to appreciate that she put in the effort on this particular day.
Let me tell you the dark side of this, okay?
Okay, there's always a dark side. Please tell me.
But this is a serious dark side that actually, I think all young females, all young girls.
Oh, well, see, you're talking young females. You're gonna pinpoint that. So that's good. That's good.
So here's the dark side of things. When I was starting to recognize girls, and that was back in what?
Early 90s.
Probably 6th grade. Yeah.
Oh man, late 80s.
6th, 7th.
The dark ages.
Mid 80s.
6th, 7th, 8th grade, right? By the time it was like 8th grade summer, going into freshman year.
So 90.
So us guys, man, we already know. Like, I've had these conversations, and actually, it wasn't even a conversation for me. It was more like me listening. Right. And we would have these conversations about, how to get a girl, and how to, date someone, or how to get this whole confidence level, how to ask out any girl out on a date, or how to do this. And you know what it came down to? It came down to pretty much, and I didn't know this at that time, but it came down to preying on the weak.
Yeah.
And so it came down to like, all right, well, I'm gonna go find like for example, then fast forward it into my 20s. Some other friends that I met who I'm not friends with anymore, but some other friends, when they were trying to
Get
find
at
someone to
girls.
date, or
Mm-hmm.
or can I just say, they're just trying to get laid. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they would know how to exploit a female, a weak female,
Oh.
and how to just make that last for about a week or a month or maybe 3 months, and then you're out. Or maybe to pay your last semester of college, and then you're out. Or to get you that to stay with you until until they get this job, like on a cruise ship as a musician, and then they're out.
Well, it just
Basically, how
goes
to
back
use
to
people.
it goes back to what I was alluding to. It starts out with your childhood. Now, as a female, I was it wasn't about beauty. It was about brains growing up. So and for me, I was pretty athletic too. So I that was something that I was proud of. My parents were proud of my brains. I was proud that I could play basketball with any guy and stand up to him. So what I'm saying here is there were other things I could rely on, not just, oh, what do I look like today? And to be quite honest, it didn't matter for a long period of my life. I mean, I tell my husband this, I didn't blossom until until I got married. When he met me, I was in sweats and whatnot. But we'll go there. Okay. So you're talking about preying on girls for a week. They think that it's all about, well, first of all, they're looking for attention. They're looking for approval. They're looking for love. And for that to happen, they would do anything for that to happen. How's that? Anything for that to happen. And if it means they got to look a certain way and dress a certain part and act a certain role, then they'll do it, right? So I see what you're saying there. I see. And you having daughters, that's something you're like, I'm sure you're desperately trying to instill in them. It isn't about the beauty. You are beautiful, but you need to instill in them still that they are beautiful in your eyes, that they need to know that, so that they don't start looking for that kind of attention from someone else. They need to know from their father, point blank, you are the most beautiful girl in the world. I love you for who you are. It isn't about what you look like. You are beautiful in all ways. But she needs to know that in your eyes, she is beauty. Does that
Well,
make sense?
I was, I don't disagree with it. The flip side is for young males to actually not fall into that trap on the conversations that I heard that were going on from the ages of 12, all the way up to like 25.
Did your mother ever talk to you about how to relate with women? I'm just curious. Did you have that conversation with
Yeah,
mama?
we've had conversations, because that's something I've never done. Yeah, I've never done that. I've never, I was never into that mode. I'm just telling you, I heard conversations of of guys on how to get and what kind of girl to get for, so what you do is you judge by duration. How long do you want to be with this for the situation that you're in? So like if you were no, it's a serious thing, man.
No, I hear you.
It's like, yo,
And
man,
it takes you back to high school.
like I'm gonna be in Chicago for 2 weeks, right? I'm gonna be in Chicago for 2 weeks, but I need to crash somewhere. So I need to meet somebody tonight. So what can I do to play this card so that I can crash with them, and then maybe I can keep coming and visiting them, and then that would be it. It's like it's like that's the whole thing. Like guys will talk about. I mean, I don't know about you, Jay. I don't know if you have friends. If you don't have friends, that's great. But I've come across those types of guys, and it was terrible. And so throughout high school, throughout college, I don't know. It's like now it kind of answered the whole thing. Like, why do I have more female friends than guys? And I think it's because whenever they tell me this issue, I would listen to them, and then I tell them straight up, like, yo, you don't want that dude. Here's why. I'm not interested in you, but I'm just saying you don't want that dude, because it's just going to be a use and abuse, and then, he's out. So.
You had friends like that, Jay?
Yeah. I mean, Sadly, it's like, yeah, I did have some friends like that back in, like, especially in high school. Man, it always seems to go back to high school where
Mm-hmm.
you come across people like that. And so it's like, you just take that with you all the way to when, you finally have kids. And it's like, man, it's like now exactly. I don't know. It's like, it's funny. It's like, I mean, not funny, but like, it's interesting that, like, I don't know. But even to this day and age, it's like, I don't know, the stories that like my nephews and niece tells me, it's like, holy crap, this is still just kind of like in high school, but just with different music and maybe like a little different wording to it. But it's like it all still plays out the same. It's like, people wanting that attention and people wanting to just like get with this girl or get with that guy. But it's like, I don't know. It's
So
yeah.
those guy friends, those guy friends that we come across, those guys, I didn't carry them. I didn't carry them into. I think after about 2 years after I started getting serious with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. As soon as I got into that relationship, I didn't carry them over and bring them with me. I just said, you guys are messed up, and I'm out. It's like I just moved on, and so. But then messages have never changed to females that ask me. It's like, nah, man, you don't want that dude. It's so funny. It's like I remember 5 years ago, one of my who became a really good friend of mine. She's a musician and also works for the city of San Francisco. And she keeps on saying, "How come you don't hook me up with any of your friends?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't have friends." First of all, it's either all my friends are all taken.
Yeah, that's my thing too. It's like, nope, everybody's married.
Everyone's married, or I don't have those friends anymore. That the ones that I you hook up with, and then I hear bad news like 6 months down the line, or like after New Year's, it's like done, or something, or the worst Valentine's Day ever, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, and I'm not trying to bash on Aisha Curry. It's just that now that I know that this goes on, and you're definitely right, Joy. It's their upbringing. I mean, I already have the solution. I know what to do, with my kids. I already know what to do. But what I'm worried about is also, the youth around, especially, so I coach right now. I coach for the baseball team, for my kid. And right now, all the kids are good, because they're young and they're innocent, and they're like a sponge. They want to learn. But the older kids that I come across, it's like, yeah, man, I gotta almost kind of strain them out. One of my friends' daughter, she's 18 now, and I got to meet her boyfriend, and I asked him some questions that were kind of like pinpointing towards this, and he's a good guy. I was like, wow, that's a good dude. I was like, I think there's a future. It's on the right track. But seriously, man, there were like his friends that were just like, how to get a girl, or like, like, oh, we're turning seniors now. Let's see which freshmen we can get. You know what I mean?
Oh, dirty. But yes, I remember.
But
Yes.
see, that's how terrible it is. And then you have to deal with like this whole violent thing, especially when they're athletes and when they want to force themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so. Yeah. It's something scary. I mean, that kind of opened up something else different for me than trying to see what really Miss Curry said. But it was really more of like this is what it's really exposing. It's exposing like what guys talk about, what the uncles talk to their nephews about, and what they shouldn't really say, and what they shouldn't even they shouldn't be hearing this stuff, or they should be hearing it, but also with correction. But it doesn't happen, It
starts at home, man. It starts at home.
It gets handed down from the stories from this uncle, from the stories from this grandfather, and it just gets handed down. It's like, oh, well, this is what my uncle did, and this is how he got like 30 women in 1 year. I mean, you hear that.
That's gross.
It is, but you know what? It's conversations that no one's talking about.
That's gross.
It's like no one's really addressing. And I think it's just something that just goes down. It's kind of like alcohol abuse. It starts in the family, and then until something happens, that's when you start to talk about it.
And that's sad too. It's like usually people don't learn about it until it happens to them. But then, a lot of times, like you're right. A lot of people don't want to talk about it because that's like the buzzkill of it all, of the fun. But then at the same time, it's something that's really true. It's like the dangers of it, and that's something that does need to be spoken about and talked about.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I don't know. Just for me, I'm just thinking. For me, and my husband. I got 3 boys, right? And I got one that's starting high school. And we joke. I mean, the running joke ever since they were kids is that I was going to arrange their marriage, right? I'm going to be the one to pick them out.
You probably should.
And I gave them a checklist of, this is what they need to be and what they need to do. And just recently, my oldest came up to me and said, Mom, you really want to arrange my marriage? And I said, you know what? I don't. You make your own mistake. You're not going to pin it on me, buddy, if it doesn't work out. But on the serious end, we do talk to him and say, hey, we respect women. He has a friend who told him that stuff was happening to her, and he came straight to me and told me, Mom, this is what's happening to so and so. And I said, what? And I'm really good friends with her mother. And so the person who confided in him was a girl. And they've known each other since they were babies, literally in the womb kind of thing. And for her to confide in him like that was huge. But for him to come and tell me without hesitation was even bigger to me. So, and I looked at him and said, I'm going to talk to her mom, right? And he goes, yeah, I know. That's why I told you. And so even now, he knows he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he knows that whatever happened to her was wrong. It should not have happened. And so I'm hoping that he continues, or that we continue to nurture him. What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a man with girlfriends, friends who are girls? What does it mean to be a man who has a girlfriend? What does that mean to be a man?
If he told one of his peers that, whatever he told you, he would have probably entered a conversation where it's like, well, hey, you can comfort her.
They're so young. Do you really think that would have happened?
You could see. No, I'm just saying a conversation would happen if he told his friends, and his friends would tell him, like, yo, you could comfort her and see if that's an in for you.
Heck no. I know his friends, but that's gross. But you know what? It could happen. I'm not going to disregard that completely.
You know why it can happen? Because it happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to me too.
So,
what?
Yeah, it's like, shoot, the gossips, the rumors, the infos that spread around high school is like just so very common to where it's like, hey, you hear that she broke up with, the basketball player? It's like, dude, man, it's your chance.
I could get in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and the whole song comes back. I wish I was a little bit taller.
I do wish I was a little bit taller.
And I honestly thought that they meant like, okay, shoot, you're a really nice guy. I think you should go help her. But now, like, looking back, it's like, oh, you guys wanted me to do this.
Yeah, it becomes a point to score. Then you compare points.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why with boys, it only takes one dude who has this who rubs, where his father or his uncle rubs off him the wrong way, and he has the total wrong perception of females. All it just takes one person to spread that, and pretty soon, after 1 year, all the 7th grade, all the 6th grade, 7th, 8th grade boys know what it's like. And when they get older, they just repeat that same conversation, and then it just becomes a thing. So
it's really sad that it only takes one person, one uncle, one father.
That's
to
it.
mess up a whole school grade.
You can mess up a lot of boys' heads.
Mm-hmm.
So and hey, I won't look. I will not. You know, thankfully, I didn't prey on that. I didn't actually use that to my advantage. I never use that to my advantage. But I have used the information, to help other guys to let them know, and then they kind of just did whatever they wanted with the information. For some reason, I kind of served as that guy when I was about 12, 13, 14. For some reason, I was always that guy that just knew everything about almost every girl, what situation they're in.
Because they confided in you.
Right. But then it came to a point where it's like, I'm only 13, 14. I didn't know what to do with that information. So I told guys who I did trust, and then they told other people. And then these other people would prey on that.
Oh, that's so sad.
And they would use that. And so when I got older, when I became like 14, 15, then it's like, okay, not going to tell anyone. It's just something I had to learn.
It takes a lot of patience. I mean, it's like just some information and knowledge that you have, but then like you always feel that urgency of like wanting to tell people too. And then like now those you think it's like you can trust, it's like now they have that same urgency of wanting to tell other people, and now it just spreads out.
So here's the thing about So here's the thing about for kids. I know your focus is on like, telling the daughters, telling the girls, what they need to look out for. I know that concern, and I pretty much know how to deal with it. My great concern is teaching the youth, the male youth, on how to actually think about this. And when they hear something like this, they need to reject it, because I think it will start there. Otherwise, we're just going to have this whole society that repeats itself. And I'm not trying to call Muslims out, right? But in their world, I know, because I've heard these conversations when I was young, growing up with Muslims, right? Growing up, that if you're like if you're a man, if you're a guy and you're married, right? But you're away from your wife, and she's far away, but you're working, then the answer, and it was okay, maybe a lot of people might condone this, but it was okay to go to a prostitute, take care of your business, and then you come back and it's okay. You know what I mean?
You heard that? You
Huh?
You heard them actually say that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now these were not like devout Muslims. These were Muslims that were actually drinking alcohol.
Oh, okay.
All right. But when they admit this, it does happen. It's just something that does happen.
So what you're saying then is it can happen across cultures. So you can take a Christian church guy and they'd have these conversations as well. Correct.
Right.
Because I know a bunch of them.
Right. And I think that's where it really needs to stop. Like that transfer from the older man to the younger boy, I think that needs to stop. There has to be some kind of stoppage, and it's time for like younger boys. They need to stand up and reject that stuff. And that
younger boys can't. They don't know to reject it. You gotta teach them that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just, I know there's this whole thing about like, like if a son has a good relationship with his mom, and then you see how he treats his mom, that's how he'll treat his new wife. That's not always true. I mean, that may look picture perfect, but that's not always true, man. I think it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that.
It tends to be pretty good though. If he treats his mom like crap, I'm flying high, away.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's just something to think about. I mean, to all the young boys who are becoming men. I mean, I think, especially my friends that have those young boys, I think it's a conversation that is worth bringing up to, and just saying, hey, oh man, how's your boy? Like he's 13, really? Has he seen porn yet? And if he has seen porn, what does he think of it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can honestly say when I was in 7th grade, I watched my first porn flick. I I went to a friend's
From
house.
beginning to end.
We went to a Christian school, right? We went to a Lutheran school. Went right to his house. There was no soccer. Soccer season was over. You know, baseball season was didn't even start. Basketball didn't even start. So it's like it's all good. When I went to his house, boom, porn.
Yeah, I think at a very young age, it's like you either seen porn or you've seen a porn magazine. But it's like there's gonna, I don't know, it's like something that's gonna happen sooner or later, and it's like the same thing with drinking too. Like I know someone who said to their kid, like 14 years old, it's like, you know what, you're gonna drink anyway, so here you go. But it's like at least like
say that all the time.
yeah. But I mean, the only thing that I would just suggest is like, did you at least, monitor him, and then not let it get out of control because, just being kids, it's like they're curious. So they're going to do a lot of really stupid things because, of course they don't know any better, but, that's where you come in to tell them it's like, you had enough.
Where do you draw the line though? I mean, isn't that akin to giving someone a condom and saying, well, you're going to do it anyway sooner or later. Just hold on to this for safety.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah. But I mean,
I was talking with this is crazy. I was just talking with a friend of mine.
Uh-huh.
And she has a 15-year-old boy, 16 maybe.
Ooh.
And he just had his birthday. And she said she gave him a condom. And literally she said, just in case.
See, like you're wondering, is that a joke or is she for real? Like just the way
she was joking. She said joking, but she said she was serious, but seriously though. And I looked at her and said, really? Really? I mean, that's another compensation in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. All I know is that at some point your boy is gonna see porn.
I know that. I know that. And you know what? I have been preparing it. I have been preparing for this since we were young. And I say that because I'm going to reveal a little bit, but I wasn't abused sexually, but it could have come close. And I know for some of my other family members it did happen. And so that was the one thing I was really fearful of when I had kids. I said, oh man, how am I going to protect my children? Because I was exposed to porn really early on. And people will say, well, that's just romance novels. That's porn and words. Same thing. And people had cable. We were exposed to porn really early. Yeah. And so I went on the other end of the spectrum. I said, I had read statistics that the average age for a young person to be exposed to porn was 8 years old. This was 15 years back now. And my son is 14, so I was doing all this research. And that was the one thing I prayed hard against, yada, yada, yada. And now I'm at this age, I'm now here 14 years later. My son is 14 and a half. I'm going, well, God, we did all that we can. My husband's done the sex talk, and they don't talk to me, or he doesn't talk to me as much, which I'm thankful for. He's gone from being attached at the hip to me to detaching himself little by little from me and attaching himself more to my husband, which is what's supposed to happen anyway. I mean, we have a really good relationship, but when it comes to that serious stuff, or I call it serious, but boy-girl stuff, I'm trusting that he's talking to my husband. And I don't doubt that they've been exposed to something at school. I mean, they swear left and right. I homeschooled my boys up until 2 years ago. I didn't swear at home. But as soon as they got there was the onslaught. They said, the first thing they said to me, Mom, every other word is F. And I'm like, did you know what that word meant? He goes, no, but I found out. I found out today.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. The only thing what I'm going to do with my kids is when they start hearing conversations about preying on a weaker person, whether it be bullying, whether it be just trying to score, whether it's trying to insert themselves in trying trying to exploit like a situation when someone is like emotionally distraught or they're just not emotionally altogether, and you take advantage of that, kind of like, you know, people that like psychiatrists, and then they get with their patient, you know, something like that, you know. But when they start having conversations like that, and if my kids start telling me that, I think that's where it's like, I'm going to get the other parent involved, because there's something in there, you know, that really messes people up, I think. And it messes up a generation. It messes up it really messes up society.
Were your friends bullies?
Huh?
Were those people that were preying upon girls, were they bullies?
Not all
in
of
your
them.
eyes?
Not all of them.
But the majority? I wonder. I'm just
No,
curious.
I wouldn't say they're bullies.
No? They were just
They were more like into themselves. You know, they were like people who, these were guys who cared like what they wore, you know, what they watch, what they eat, what they, you know, just how they are like on the physical aspect, you know, like what kind of car they drove, and they were more into themselves like that. They were more into themselves. So they were more into people who could surround them to lift them up. It was those kind of people.
Yeah, same here with me too. It's like, you know, kind of like going back, like with, I guess what Miss Curry was saying too. It's like, I think like but I think like their way, it's like they show more of like, you know, this is what I have, this is who I am. It's like, you know, I'm getting like all the attention that way, versus like just kind of like waiting for someone to say, oh, you look pretty cool, you know. But it's like you show it off, like especially like with what you have, like the cars, and you know, with the woman or with the girl that you're dating. It's like, oh man, it's like that's the first thing you always hear. It's like, oh man, did you hear that he's dating this girl? It's like, man, she's fine as hell, or something like that. It's like, yeah.
So I bet you, like ever since that thing came out, I bet you there are probably men that are trying to exploit her right now.
probably.
You know,
They probably said, "You're hot, Aisha."
It's not going to stop, and they're probably going to try to say, "Oh, so okay." So this is how one of those guys would think. All right, it would be more like, "Oh, dude, did you just hear what Aisha just said?" So
and it's live television.
So she don't want it, but she wants to know. So that means that she's still curious outside of her marriage.
Yeah.
So I'm going to exploit that to see what hurts her.
That's how one person will exploit, or several, or many people will twist what she said around.
No. They can twist that, but the thing is that they're going to psychologically try to find an in on her brain so that they could actually make that happen for her and possibly break a happy home. Yeah. So,
I mean, now that it's on, that was on TV, right?
I don't know. It probably was, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, or YouTube, or just out there in the media. Now it's like, you know, everybody knows, and now, yeah, you're right. It's like everybody's most likely gonna try and take advantage of that situation. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I'm saying. Like that's how the predator mind would think. Because I've been around those guys. I've had the conversations. I know what it's like. And thankfully it's something that I think I naturally rejected it. You know, because I always saw that as wrong.
Because it is.
Because all the times that I transferred information to a group of people that then transferred it to another group of people, I always went back to the girl and said, "Yo, watch out, man. Don't do it." So, that's how it is. Anyway, I'm sorry this kind of became heavy, but this is what I was trying to get to, the whole thing. And just for kicks, man, I think we could laugh about this next one. Okay. And we'll make it quick, but we could laugh about this one. Let me just share it with you here. Representative
Ted Lieu.
Talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Hirschenoff. Ms. Owens said, quote, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. So when people try to legitimize Adolf Hitler, does that feed into white nationalist ideology?
Okay, before she even answers that, look at how that was framed.
Mm-hmm.
They took something like, I think, more out of context.
They did.
And then make a religion. It's kind of like saying this, dude. Hey, Jay, it's kind of like saying this, dude.
Mm.
It's like, oh, like, so me and you, we could probably be lined up with probably a couple like killers. Because then they could say, oh, yeah, me and Jay, we subscribe to this magazine. We watch these prepping channels.
Mm-hmm.
And we like boats. The same exact stuff as this guy who shot up a school. You know, yeah. and then now we're guilty by association because of interest associated, you know, and I'm just like, what? So as this goes on, and I'm just going to skip ahead because and there's only about a minute and a half of it.
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue
Candace
the
Owens
full clip. And it's
let me rewind that.
Apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Mm-hmm. Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said.
Dude, so this guy, Nadler, he goes, you may not call anyone stupid. And she goes, I didn't call anyone stupid. And then he just shrugs his shoulders.
Yeah, I know. I was like, just really?
Don't they take notes? They should have had to read it back.
No, man. No, this is our government. This is how they can you believe these are actual you know, and I'm not gonna play this whole clip, but I'm just gonna like look
Why
through.
is she under fire? Why is she even there?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No.
But no, I mean are you gonna play the rest? Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no. Okay, just this last part.
Okay.
Black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully extracted, he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that Hitler was whether or not I believed in nationalism. And that.
Look at his eyes roll, dude. He knows he's wrong, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He knows.
Rewind it. I want to see his eyes roll again.
No, it's like him putting his fingers together. I was like, oh,
yes.
That was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that Hitler was whether or not I believed in nationalism and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people.
So I just can't believe, like, okay, this if you know anything about Ted Lieu, okay, I think he's from LA, let's just say Southern Cal. He's from Southern Cal. I believe he's a representative. And the funny thing is that he's trying to make an attack on this Candace Owens, who's very outspoken. I believe that, you know, she speaks out against Democrats, I think, or more liberals.
Yeah, she's conservative. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely conservative. And so he brought this attack onto her, trying to frame her on how to say something. And the funny thing is this, dude. It's like everything that she said is correct. everything what with the people who are opposed to her, like the guy who's actually saying, "Oh, you may not call anyone stupid," yeah, and for this, the crazy thing is these are people in government, and they're in our government, and you wonder something as petty and low of a subject as this. I mean, how many times are they really framing things? Just to make some stupid point. Like people, just because it sounds good as a soundbite. I don't
But
know,
it didn't
man.
even. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like, shoot, yeah, it's like when she brought that up about how he only played a certain clip of like the whole entire interview, like off of his phone that he was showing earlier. He didn't play the whole thing. It's like, there's more to the story to where it's like you only play the part where it made it sound like,
She's
she's
glorifying Hitler.
Yeah, or yeah, glorifying Hitler. It's kind of like what you're saying earlier. It's like, we were lined up next to like a sociopath or a homicide guy, or not homicide guy. Yeah, the serial killer guy, but we share the same interests, and that's all people know about us. It's like now the only thing they're thinking that okay, we're serial killers too. So it's like kind of like what they're doing with her right now, and it's like yeah, the next part you play, it's like I've seen the whole video, and she fires back like without hesitation, which is why like Ted Lieu is like you can see he knows he's in the wrong, and she's
He knows he's
him.
screwed.
Yep, and she's hitting her with every point of like just
How
his
dishonest what he was.
Mhm.
Of how and here's the thing, this guy, okay, it's already given. He's a Democrat. He was a colonel in the Air Force, and I was thinking like, wow, dude, you come over here from Taiwan, right? You become a colonel for the military, for the U.S. military, and then you come up, you work as a judge advocate general, and then you come into to being a politician. For me, it's enough to say, wow, he was a freak. He was an '06 man. He was a colonel in the U.S. military. That's very respectable. And that basically you can't really, you should be living a different kind of life, especially when you reach that rank.
Mhm.
And then to become a politician, now I'm thinking like, man, this is why California's screwed, because we got politicians like this who people just blindly support just because they're Asian. So they're like, okay, well, he's Asian, so am I. So I'm just going to go along with it.
This woman must be a threat. Or threat in a good way. She must be very formidable for them to try and come after her with something so petty.
You should look her
not
up.
even
Oh
true.
yeah, there's other interviews where she was on CNN. It's like even I can't remember who the other guy was. It was another African American who was like not really like I forget what the conversation was, but it was like but you can find her interview on like CNN. It's like she really fires back with facts. That's
I think
the
I've seen her before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing about her that makes all her arguments so strong is like she's hitting people with the facts to where it's like where they can't even argue back with her because what? Now it's like people look it up. It's like, what? She's right. She was telling the truth. She's got the facts to back it up. But yeah, I mean, she's pretty amazing.
That's cool.
But we should, for the next time, let's look up some more videos. I have a bunch. I bookmarked a lot of stuff that she says, like a lot of good like two liners and one liners and like a whole even like a whole response, man. And the way she talks, wow, I have to say, man, I'm surprised she's not in politics.
Hey,
what did she do?
I think she just, I don't know. I think I think she's on like conservative like groups and networks, and I think she's just one of those people that goes around and does speeches, and she might have her own show or podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I've heard her talk, and I was pretty surprised. The only thing is, I've heard people talk about her and who don't want to follow her and tell people that she's a fake because she used to be a liberal, and now she's just looking for a chance to to get
No, I
popular.
think that makes her special then, because she knows the liberal viewpoints, and that's why she's able to hammer hard.
Yeah, she knows the game and she knows how to strike back.
Right.
So, and that's the thing. But a lot of people are like really going into like her youth and saying, "Oh, well, she never really lived as a black person. She didn't live poor. She doesn't know what it's like to live in a ghetto." You know,
What? She was like the Huxtables? You're
Yeah.
gonna tell me they're less black because she lived like the Huxtables?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, there's actually another video that a friend of mine sent me too about how she was talking about, what they call it, the black card.
Mm.
So basically, it's like you see that a lot too now, especially like with Black Lives Matter. It's like, or if something happens, like, oh, you're only you think I stole something because I'm black or something like that, or oh, you're not giving me a job opportunity because I'm black. But for her, she did like a little short video where she pointed out how her grandfather, when he came into the U.S., like he started out very poor. He did some like really like like low paying jobs like gardening or mowing lawns or something like that. And then he eventually started his own company and became successful. But it all came down to hard work, and it was a time where a lot of like black people who didn't have that great opportunity, but he continued to work hard and eventually he became successful. And she followed by his rule of like working hard and just gaining something through hard work versus like having to like just gosh, I don't want to sound like too blunt or anything, but like just kind of like complaining about it. It's like, oh, again, like having to use that card saying, oh, because I'm black, oh, because of my skin color. It's like, I guess like even my parents, her story reminded my parents because when they came to the U.S., right, it's like they were struggling to make a living. They had to start farming. And, me growing up farming with them, it's like, it's not an easy job. It's not a fun job.
Mhm.
But you know what? It's what kept us going. And eventually now we are at where we're at, not because we had to ask for favors, but we really had to work hard to get where we're at.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, but you listen. Yeah. You look at that video of like, that she made. It's like, it's just very inspiring. So my friend was like saying like, if anything, she could be the first ever, not just woman in the White House, but possibly the first, female black woman in the White House as the next president, or not the next, but if she ever runs for it,
Joy,
I think she'd have a high. She had lots of potential.
Joy, if you ever look her up as Red Pill Black, that's her nickname. Red
Pill Black.
Yeah. If you ever just come.
What is the story behind that
so
name?
Red Pill is because of the Matrix. Red Pill is because of the Matrix.
Got it.
And she's black, and the fact that she's black, so she's called Red Pill Black. So it's kind of like you take the other option, you take the daring option. That's her name. But if you look her up, I have a feeling I think you're gonna love her.
I seen a clip of her a while back, and I said, "Who is this girl? She should be the next." I said, "I'm head next president right there."
So personally, I don't like her. However, I would be afraid to debate her.
Oh yeah,
because she's on top.
I'm the same too.
I'll be afraid. I don't like her that much. I don't like her too much. I don't know why.
I probably like maybe.
I don't know why I don't like her. I don't know.
She doesn't have a nasty accent.
No, she doesn't have a nasty accent. I think I don't know why. There's something that kind of rubs me the wrong way, because I think there are some points which we'll talk about another time, but there's some points that I don't agree on with her, and I think those points kind of stick with me. Usually, there's some points that I can overlook, but there's some points that she's with, and I think that's healthy because.
Give me one. You got to give me one.
No, I'm not. No, I'll save it for later.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'll save it for later. So hey, let's do something really fun, because I know, Joy, I know you didn't watch the Avengers Endgame. but I got to talk it out. So why don't you go ahead and bring out your guest if he's available.
He's no longer available.
He's not available. He's out.
He said goodnight to me about half an hour ago.
It's not even school night. Come on.
No, he's in school.
Oh, what?
He's doing a yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing with the.
Sorry.
Here's the thing with the Avengers Endgame. And you're not gonna watch it, right, Joy? You're not gonna. Yeah.
Don't worry.
All right, so we could just talk about it.
Yeah.
Dude.
Do it.
So I just have 2 questions.
Okay.
So, wait, is Iron Man really dead?
You know, I'd say yeah.
You couldn't answer it.
Oh, no, I mean, dude,
Is Iron Man really dead?
I can just say for now. For now, I mean,
and okay, so he's dead for now. Oh my gosh, great. Okay, now here's the other thing. Does Captain America, does he really die off?
Captain America's a woman, right?
No.
Oh no, you're thinking of Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Does Cap really die? Like, he get old and die?
I believe so, because
he's ending his career. He retired.
Yeah, because you see him at an old age. If he can age, then that means eventually he's gonna die. I mean, like, I don't know how the super soldier serum works. I think it only gives him super strength, but then it doesn't give him immortality. Because otherwise, he wouldn't be aging like that near the end.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I can live with that. I mean, that's it. That's all I want to know. Because it's like, I saw the movie and I thought they put in too many superheroes all at once, and there wasn't enough time for all of them. So
yeah, no, I mean, like, I get that too, but like that's like the whole reason why, like, they say like you have to at least, or not at least, but like it's best if you watch all the Marvel movies leading up to now, because that's where it's like, okay, this is who the superhero is, like Captain Marvel or Thor and Captain America and all that. It's like now it's all leading up to now where, okay, you guys should have seen who all these heroes are. You should have all known who they are. So now it's like, it's right to where, okay, this is the final battle. We're just going to go at it. Because like if I were to show this to my sister who's never seen any of the Marvel movies, she's going to be like, okay, who the heck are these guys? And, it's like, what's going on? It's like, who's that? So, yeah. But, I mean, if anything, I'd say,
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say if anything, it's like, yeah, the final battle came at the very end, but then it could have been a little bit longer just to give like the other heroes like some screen time to like, to get involved as well, or get involved in the fight. Because it just seems like just for like a split second, it's like, oh hey, it's War Machine. Oh wait, now it's Scarlet Witch, and then it's like, oh wait, so many things happening. So I know what you mean.
So here's a little trivia for Joy.
Uh-huh.
Does this face look familiar? Just a face.
Really? I mean, look closely though.
So this is the character that she played. Who was it? It was
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet.
See, I don't even know who Scarlet Witch is.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, Scarlet.
I mean, celebrity wise, right? Yeah, not the character.
That's Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am so bad with pop culture right now.
But does she look kind of familiar? Does she look familiar to you?
Like an Olsen? She looks like an Olsen.
Dude, she's one of the Olsen sisters, but she's not one of the twins. Really? She's not one of the twins. She's just a sister.
I was gonna say it's like you may not know her, but you might know her sisters.
Yeah. She looks like an Olsen.
Yeah.
No,
she's pretty.
No, I was thinking the same thing too. It's like, you know what? She looks really familiar because I grew up watching a Full House.
Full House.
Yeah. when there was a couple scenes in like the other movies, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, how come she looks like one of the twins? Who is that? I looked it up. Last name Olsen. And I go, yep. But I have to tell you what. I tell you what. This one, she can act. She's good.
She is, and she's very, very pretty too.
She's believable, dude. I totally believed her accent.
That
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch. Was that her name?
Yeah.
Scarlet.
Because like she has like I want to say, is it German or Russian accent in the movie?
I thought she was Romanian. I don't know.
I think so. It's like it's that accent.
I think
But
she's
man,
like we're crossed between Romanian and German. That's just me though. I don't know what she's supposed to be.
Yeah. And like you just hear her in like an interview, it's like, holy crap, that's her real voice.
I know that's crazy, dude.
Man, you know what's crazy though? It's like thinking about it, it's like, you never heard about her before. You just hear mostly about her sisters, but now you barely hear about her sisters, but now you're hearing a lot about her after she got into Marvel. It was like in her mind, she's probably thinking, like, that's right, sisters. It's my time to rise. It's my time for the glory and the fame.
Yeah.
Enjoy my shadow.
Pretty much. How old is she? I don't know. Maybe 29, 30-ish.
Oh.
Yeah, probably 30-ish. I have no idea. But anyway, hey, that's all that we have time for, man. We've been at it for like how long? Oh man.
Oh wow.
8. Yeah, hour half.
It's
Longer.
late. Yeah. It's been long, but it's been fun. Hey, Jay, it's always good having you here, man. I wish I could have you more.
Yes.
Yeah, but then next time we're gonna have more interesting stuff. We'll probably do a little bit more research on Candace Owens.
Yes.
Then we'll have Mavis on. We'll try to figure out, what she did and how she did. What was her reasoning on what she chose to do?
I'd like to hear her story
And how she felt. I'm really want to, and it kind of ties into, just like I think like when you teach younger people on how to handle these kind of problems and how to look at it, how to analyze it, and to be confident about their decision. I think it'll really help. I think this is one of those things where especially these things like how we were talking about how young boys think about girls. And I think that's the change that needs to happen, rather than girls having to really adjust to how boys act. But it's
That's
really
your sister.
but it's really how they need to start treating them now. Right now, I'm not saying it's too late for me because it's like I still recall all those bad conversations, and I still recall like how to do things. And it's funny how I think of like, hey, if I were a real creep, how I would try to exploit Aisha, and
Well, you got a son, and you can redeem all that.
that's true. And I'm gonna tell all his friends, and I'm gonna put him in my backyard. I'm gonna tie them all up. And I'm gonna.
Okay, duct tape. We're back to duct tape again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a fire.
Anyway.
In the backyard. Anyway, hey, we're gonna close it up. I'm Roy.
And I'm Joy.
And I'm Jay.
And you've been listening to Cins Radio.